Or on page 70, if you want to follow along. We're talking about the things that you need to have Habitachon in Hashem. There were five Hagdamas, five introductions in this chapter he's talking about. And the first one of those five introductions was that you can only have Bitachon in a being that has all seven qualities. And the seven qualities are things that we discussed in chapter 2. So we're on the third quality on page 70. Vashlishi, ki habori is barach chazak mikol chazak. Hashem is stronger than anyone. He has unlimited, infinite strength. With varo nigzar mikol davar. Anything that Hashem says gets done. Vein meishiv dino. There's nobody who can prevent Hashem's decree from being accomplished. As it says, Kol asher chafetz Hashem asa. Everything that Hashem wants is done. It says, Ken yeh devari, so will be my word, asher yetzi mipi, lo yoshev elai rekam ki im asa es asher chafasti. Everything that Hashem says, he says, is going to happen. There's nothing, no being, no situation that could ever prevent Hashem's word from being accomplished. Okay, so Hashem fulfills that requirement of being the most powerful. Varvi, the fourth thing, Kihu mashgiach al hanhagas inyanei ha'olam kulam. Hashem watches over everything in the world. Lo yanichem, there's nothing that's set aside. V'lo yis'ali mehem, there's nothing that's hidden from Hashem. V'lo yisasem mimenu davar mehem b'ktam v'ad goydlam. Nothing is hidden from Hashem, from the smallest thing to the greatest thing. V'lo yashkicheu davar es davar. Usually you have people, if they're involved in too many things, they forget certain things. That's not true by Hashem. Hashem's involved in everything. And the fact that he's involved in everything doesn't cause him to forget something else that he was dealing with. K'moshe Kasov, like it says in the Pasuk, Lama Saimer Yaakov, Utedaber Yisrael, why does Yaakov say, and the Jewish people say, Nister Adarchim Hashem, that my way is hidden from Hashem, Ume'alakai Mishpati Yavor, and that my cause has passed before Hashem. But Amar, it says, Halo Yadatim Lo Shemata, don't you know, didn't you hear? Elokei Olam Hashem, the God of the world is Hashem. Borik Tos Aretz, Lo Yaif, he created the ends of the earth. Lo Yaif, Lo Yiga, he doesn't get tired. Ein Cheker L'Tfunasa, there's no limit to his understanding. So Hashem, not only is he supremely powerful, but he also knows everything that is going on, and he accomplishes many things at once, and the fact that he's doing one thing doesn't preclude him from doing many things. V'achamishi, the fifth thing, She'ein biyad echad ma'abruim lo hayalas nafsho v'lo lahazika v'lo luzulaso ki'im b'rshus habor yizbarach. It's a very important concept, which is really fundamental to Bitachon. He says that no creation can help or hurt anybody else, or anything, himself or anybody else, unless it's with the permission of Hashem. That's very important, because that means that, let's say, I decide to kill somebody. Chas v'shalom. This is Russia. Right? Let's say I decide to kill somebody. Israel decides that they're going to make beepers explode and kill Hezbollah. Okay? Hashem is not going to let that happen. That is not going to happen unless Hashem wants it to happen. Meaning, I'm not able to cause damage or to help anybody else unless Hashem wants it to happen. So the only reason Israel was able to blow up members of Hezbollah is because Hashem wanted it to happen. Right? That's a very important thing. So, anytime something happens, that creates a new perspective for us. Anytime something happens to us, it means Hashem wanted it to happen to us. Now, that doesn't mean that the person who did it is not going to get punished if it's like a bad thing, right? If somebody punches you in the face, chas v'shalom. So Hashem wanted you to get punched in the face. Now that guy's going to get punished for doing that. It's a horrible thing to do. But the fact that I got punched in the face, that's because Hashem wanted me to get punched in the face for whatever reason. So really, from my perspective, I shouldn't be mad at the guy, because that only happened because Hashem wanted it to happen. Right? So this also changes the way that we would react to anything that would happen to us in our lives. I've said this story before, but I really like it, so I'm going to say it again. There was a print shop in Bnei Brak. It was the only print shop. And there's halachas, if someone has a business on the street, you're not allowed to open up another business on the street. You're not allowed to open up right next door. It's a hasagas gvul. You're taking away his parnasa. You're just not allowed to do that. But this guy was the only print shop in Bnei Brak for many years, and this fellow decided he's going to open up right next door to him. So most of us would be very angry. Oh, this guy's going to take away my parnasa. That's not fair. But this man recognized that, you know what, if Hashem wants me to make a livelihood, it doesn't make a difference if this guy is next to me or if he's not next to me. It makes no difference. So not only did he not get mad at the guy who opened the second print shop, but he went over to him and he said, I want to welcome you to the neighborhood, and just to let you know, I've been in the business a while. If you need any help with anything, please let me know. Right? Because a person who has real bitachon, has real trust in Hashem, and recognizes this concept that Rabbeinu Bach is saying right here, that another being can only help or hurt me if Hashem wants it to happen. If a person really internalizes that, then it doesn't make any sense to go and be angry at this guy who opened up the print shop. And on the contrary, I'm going to go help him. I'm going to do a mitzvah because it doesn't make any difference what he did. My source of income comes from Hashem. Let's say a person, a man, a slave. I'm talking about a slave. Let's say he would have many masters. And every master would be able to help him. It wouldn't make sense just to have trust in one of them, because he has many masters. He could get help from any one of them. So he wouldn't just have trust in one of them. Now, if one of the masters was more powerful and could help him more, and even though he had help, even though he would desire help from the other masters, he would naturally focus his intentions on the more powerful one, because the more powerful one would be more likely to help him, more able to help him. Now, let's say only one of the masters could help him or hurt him. He would only have trust in that one, because he would only want help from that one. When a person recognizes and feels that any of the creations, that means if a person is going camping and there's a bear, or if a person's in his life and his boss wants to fire him, that could only affect a person if Hashem wants it to happen. The bear can only attack him if Hashem wants that the bear should attack him, and he can only get fired if Hashem wants that he should get fired. So therefore, what's the natural? What is the reaction a person should have? He shouldn't try to put his hope in his boss. He shouldn't try to. He shouldn't really be afraid of the bear. You should just have trust in Hashem. Like it says, don't have hope in powerful people and rich nobles and a human being that can't help you. So if a person is going to get fired, obviously he does his ishtadlus. He has to do the normal, natural means of not getting fired. If a person's coming late every day, then he should stop coming late, or whatever it is that his boss wants to fire him. But he should recognize where in his heart, where is his trust going? Where is he putting in his energies? His energy should be in focusing on Hashem, because my boss can't fire me or give me a raise unless Hashem wants him to. So really, my boss has no power over me at all. So all of his desires should go into Hashem. This is a very difficult thing, because we live in the natural world, so we do put in natural efforts for things, but even though we're putting in the natural efforts, part of Bitachon is constantly working throughout our lives to recognize that the success or failure is not from us, but rather totally from Hashem. I was thinking about the election. A lot of us we get like obsessed about the election. Trump said this was going to happen. Kamala said this was going to happen. What's going to happen to the country? We're all worried. But let's think about it. Really, we should be putting more of our efforts into davening to Hashem, that everything should work out. Right? That's really where we should be putting our efforts. Not so much watching Fox News for every knach of what they said and what's going to happen, and the polls are 47 today, 47, right? In the end of the day, whoever's going to win is going to be who Hashem wants to win. So let's put our efforts there to davening to Hashem. We want the best thing to happen for the country, the best thing to happen for the Jewish people, and really that's a lesson. And it's difficult because we do work in the world, we do put in our natural efforts, but we have to recognize, given all that everything really comes from Hashem. Someone told me that they knew a guy who, I guess he was very nervous about making a living, so he went to school for many, many years to become I think it was like an architect, like a super fancy architect, and he was in school for many, many years, spent a lot of money getting this fancy degree, and he's finally ready to make his living, which should have given him a very nice salary. And I guess he was working for a year, and then he had a rich uncle he didn't know so well that died, and he left all of his money to him, and he didn't have to work at all. So the point is, he put in all his effort because he thought he's going to, make a living from this career, which required a lot of schooling. But he had a rich uncle who died, and that's where his parnasa came from. Everything comes from Hashem. We put in our effort, but in the end of the day, everything comes from Hashem. All right, let's stop here for today.
Oh.